Welcome to the Grow Your Money podcast, where we're on a mission to change how we talk about money. Our fireside chats are the heart of our show, bringing the energy and excitement of in-person events straight to your ears. We aim to connect you with inspiring voices and stories that matter, sharing relatable experiences and insights that will transform your financial life. Everyone deserves access to practical financial knowledge, so we're making money conversations relatable by inviting guests from all walks of life to share their real-life experiences with money. But this isn't your typical money show. We look at the emotional, psychological, and cultural factors that shape our relationship with money. So hit subscribe and join us for another episode of the Grow Your Money podcast.
Hello, I'm so excited to have you here. Brought you up to our city, to Edinburgh, finally.
I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, so glad. And we finally meet in person. We've been doing so much virtually, and yet we are sisters somehow.
I know. It just feels so surreal. I'm so delighted to be in Edinburgh, and yeah, absolutely beautiful city.
Oh,
Beautiful view.
thank you so much for coming. We're going to talk a bit about you and why you partnered with us, why you partnered with the MoneyMatiX on the Grow Your Money Challenge, and just get to know a bit about your money personality, and we'll do that through some cunning questions. But I want to start off by introducing you. You are Muna Yassin. You are the CEO of Fair Money Advice, which we absolutely love everything you do there, MBE as well. And so I'll let you tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Tynah. So yeah, as you've introduced me, I'm the CEO of Fair Money Advice. So Fair Money Advice is a specialist pan-London debt advice charity. We've been going for 20 years now, and we really work with diverse ethnic communities in London and the South East, and our focus is on really improving people's financial resilience and ensuring that they're not kind of being affected by financial distress, but also really thinking about what brings financial well-being and financial health. So, delighted to be here with you. And obviously, a lot of our work crosses over. We're working with migrant communities, Black and ethnic minority communities, and just a lot of our experience has been around supporting people through financial difficulties. But our focus has always been how we get them to thrive financially as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I remember the first time reading your CV and going like, wait, that person's here? And then eventually meeting you, and just you're very deep-rooted in the grassroots community. You understand the communities very well and the solutions that we bring to life. So trying to find out a bit about you and unravel a bit about this, who is Muna.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about you by describing your money personality with an emoji.
With an emoji, okay, that's a very good question. So I would say that I want to be the heart in your eyes emoji.
Oh.
But I am realistically probably the scream emoji. I think that comes from the fact that I have learned to be better with money as I got older. I think I've always had an impulsive way with money. And I think that comes from I'm spontaneous. I like to do things as they come along. And who doesn't want to be generous and all of those things. So I think one of the things that I've been very good at and have taught myself through the work that I've done is actually how to do financial planning, how to think about the boring stuff, which is very important, but also make sure there's a bit of fun on the side. So I think those are the two that kind of describe me. The screaming, oh God, I've got to do this, but the hearts and the love at the center of everything I do.
That is so cute and so true as well. I when I think of you, I think of the emojis, the kissing one as well. So I think that describes you. I'm spontaneous as well with money, and it's like, okay, so do we really need to budget? Okay, let's get it done then, because it's good for you, I suppose.
Let's get it done, and then let's have.
Absolutely.
You're listening to the Grow Your Money podcast. We'll be right back after giving our partners a well-deserved shout-out. Are you struggling with debt and financial exclusion? Rooted Finance is a pioneering pan-London debt advice and financial inclusion charity, providing free money and debt advice services for over 20 years. Their team reflects the communities they serve to provide culturally appropriate services, putting you on the path towards financial freedom and resilience. Get in touch with them today to take the first steps toward getting on top of your finances.
And then sticking with that, because you talked about it's been a journey for you from the sounds of things, give your teenage self some money advice.
Oh, so I would say to my teenage self that actually what they need to think about is beyond the end of their nose, right?
Okay.
So when you're a teenager, you're focused on friends, fun, going out, all of those things. So what I would say to myself is, that's great, have fun, but also think about where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15. And also think about how do you start to manifest that, right? So I think where we are today for teenagers is they have a lot more information at their fingertips. They are very blessed to have the internet. If we wanted to find something out, we had to walk to the library, get out a big reference book. So I think there is opportunities now that wouldn't have been there for teenagers when I was growing up. I would say use them. And I would always say think about actually what matters the most. And normally that's fun. So plan out your family, plan out your retirement, and plan out how you want to kind of see yourself in the next few years.
I love that. I love the think beyond your nose, because I think for a long time as well as I'm very spontaneous. So it has to be gratifying me in the short term, or no, we're not thinking about that.
Yeah.
But as I'm getting older as well, I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, we need to do the will thing. You need to, just indeed think beyond your nose
100%.
and it will be much easier.
Yeah.
So going creative now, think about a TikTok, a money TikTok. What would yours be, and what would the hashtag be?
So it would have to include music.
Absolutely.
100%. And it would have to be probably Afrobeat. I would probably have a TikTok on really quite a serious subject, actually, which is around ensuring that you think about what are circumstances that you would need a rainy day for. So thinking about if, God forbid, something had to happen to a family member, if you had a relationship breakdown, where's that nest egg? So really thinking about how you build that nest egg. And yeah, ensuring that you do it in a fun, light way, but also making sure that you kind of resonate with people what's important to you.
Wow. So it would be hashtag nest egg or something like that?
Yeah, hashtag rainy day.
Rainy day. Wow. Very important, actually.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because rainy days sometimes spring themselves on you. And I think COVID showed us that. Like
COVID and the cost of living, right? So
absolutely.
Brexit's happened.
Yeah.
A pandemic, global pandemic. And then we now have a cost of living crisis hasn't been seen like in a generation. So all of those things could have been helped with a bit of a buffer.
Absolutely.
And that's not to say you have to kind of plan out natural disasters and political situations, but just thinking about what if, I think makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And then let's pull up the bonnet a little bit. What are your financial goals for this year, if you don't mind sharing with us?
Yeah, sure. So I think one of my financial goals is to continue saving. I think I have to practice what I preach. So thinking about we are in uncertain times. So ensuring that obviously that nest egg continues to grow. But also I'm very focused on my pension.
Nice.
As you say, getting older, we have to start thinking about these things. So I think those are my two.
Yeah, pension is an interesting one actually, because I remember a couple of weeks ago sitting down and thinking, yeah, pension will come. So we do need to think about that.
We do. And also, what do you want to do? What type of lifestyle do you want to have?
Yeah.
Right? So we've been working. Everybody deserves a good retirement. What does that look like?
Yeah. And I was just having a conversation with someone about retirement. You have to be able to live a long and healthy life. You should be retiring to something, not just retiring completely. Yeah. So how do you plan that financially,
Exactly. And how do you maintain your kind of motivation and your wider mental and physical health beyond working? Because we don't realize work gives us so much of that. So how do you ensure that continues?
Absolutely. Nice one. So role models, books, films.
So I think for me, a role model has always been obviously number one, my mother. And I think that's just natural. But also I think one of the women that I admire who's from this recent age, obviously Michelle Obama and what she's done for women of colour, Maya Angelou, literature in those sense. I think those are the kind of things that inspire me, people that have their lived experience and bring it and aren't afraid to share it. So I think those are the kind of key people that I look to.
Brave and cutting the...
Yeah, absolutely. And who are unafraid, as you say. So bravery, unafraid, and are prepared to take the flak. So I think those are the type of people. And obviously International Women's Day is coming up. So I have to mention them.
Absolutely. Yeah, Muna, you were our first official partner for the Grow Your Money Challenge. It means a lot. But not just from a physical point of, yes, you partnered with us, you've given us a lot of resource, access to so many things, including your expertise on that. But the key thing with our partnership was just the validation of we are working with communities and trying to showcase money in a different way. You know, we're trying to do money differently, so to speak. And that was just so powerful for me as a founder to find someone else that just caught the vision immediately. But I wonder, from your point of view, why did you say, because you literally didn't sleep on this. You were just like, we're in, you know? And I wonder why Fair Money Advice did that. It's a brilliant partnership, aligns on values from our point of view. But I'd like to hear your thoughts and why you partnered with MoneyMatiX on the Grow Your Money Challenge.
Number one is you. Cool. So right back at you, having met you, having gone through the whole process with the Nationwide Incubator where we met, I just saw somebody who really got the essence of what we're trying to achieve down in London, but in a different way. And I think for me, that alignment around values, but also ensuring that you are coming from a place of love, right? You love your community, you want to empower them, you want to kind of make sure that they thrive, and you want to do things with them rather than at them and for them. And obviously we come from a space of supporting people who are going through very difficult times, but we see their aspirations throughout that whole journey.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always focused on how we kind of support people through that, and to the point where they're in a position to be able to kind of live those aspirations. Obviously, circumstances over the last few years haven't helped.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been a lot more firefighting, but we've always kept that essence of wanting to ensure that we help people thrive financially. And I think you're doing it in a different way. And I think we're kind of coming at the same community from different angles. And it felt like a really good match. And it felt like we could also grow and help some of our experience down in London. Because obviously London has much more mature micro communities. It has much more mature solutions that have happened in the kind of capital. But also we can learn from newer communities and what's being done up in Scotland or other parts of the UK. So it's an opportunity for FMA and Fair Money Advice to learn from other partners, but also to kind of scale our growth across the UK as well.
Absolutely. Awesome. And for us as well, it was a very interesting cultural match in terms of how you deliver your service. So if you don't mind talking a little bit about the Fair Money Advice service, because that's definitely something that our Grow Your Money community are hoping to tap into and be able. So just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we provide access to emergency financial assistance, to debt advice, debt counselling, access to grants, income maximisation. I really provide an advocacy for the community. So a lot of our work is focused on supporting people through financial distress, stabilising their situations, and our advisors will go from the whole process of assessing their financial situation all the way through up to, if you needed, insolvency, to give people a fresh start. But we also really work with other organisations, so we see ourselves as a catalyst to bring in what's the root problem, what's the root cause that's causing that financial distress. So it could be housing, it could be immigration, it could be mental health. So really bringing in all those different actors and players and centering that around the individual. And so a lot of the stuff that we do is around providing a bandwidth to people to be able to make the right decisions, to be able to take stock of their situation and provide them with a pathway out of debt and financial difficulty, but also to start thinking about and putting their heads up, what is my financial aspiration? What are the things that I need to do to be able to get there?
Absolutely brilliant. And that's like at the heart of the Grey Money Challenge. We start with your goal, with your why, and just help you to get there just a little bit at a time. But something you've said is really important is if you don't deal with the root cause of a problem, you're going to have it recurring, you're going to have it recurring. So how do you, solve that problem? What's causing the issue? And then work your way out of it. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Muna. We're looking forward to recording a few more episodes with you. And just so everyone knows, I'm trying to bring her up more. So you guys should tune in and keep saying to Muna to come up again to Scotland.
Anytime. And I keep my voice. Thank God my voice is held.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Your Money podcast. If you're looking to take actionable steps toward achieving your financial goals, visit MoneyMatiX.com. That is money, MATIX.com. And join our free Grow Your Money Challenge. Let's unite in the movement to inspire people to talk about money. Thank you for being a part of our community. We'll see you in the next episode.